Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Unlikely, and look who I have here, Big E. So, I just want you to know something. This interview means a lot for one reason in particular. I went to school at HCC in Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
I was working at the Lids locker room at West Shore Mall.
Yep.
I saw you numerous times walk in. Never buy anything, no hard feelings. Never buy a damn thing. Hey, them FCW checks.
Hey, they were light. They were light, okay?
Very light. Very light. We was working hard, but I remember one day in particular, you came in, it was the weekend, and then the next Monday, you debuted on Raw. And I was like, God damn, excuse my language.
Well,
things are possible and things can happen.
Well, so I used to be, so that mall, by the way, it's sad to see what that mall has become. So I used that mall when I was young.
So I was at the Rumble. What's going on? Like, is it done?
I don't know. It's kind of on life support. But anyways, I used to get my hair cut there for a while. And even before then.
Across the Lids?
I don't know if it was across from Lids.
Near like the elevator for the movie theater?
No, wait.
Because Kofi, I saw Kofi. You guys will always walk through there.
Yeah. But I also used to go to Mr. Man. That's where I used to get. That's probably why I was there. Because I used to get the early in my career on the main roster. A lot of people make fun of my like Uncle Fitz, but I wear like that. But those were all from Mr. Man in Tampa, and that was the spot. So that's probably why I was. I can't remember where the Lids was in relation to it. But you're right. I did do a lot of window shopping. I don't even know why. I'm not even like a big hat guy, but I would just kind of check things out. But yeah, man, small world.
It is a small world. And now that you bring up window shopping, so you, Bray, Kofi, Wade, Sheamus, I'm probably forgetting a couple others. Saw all of y'all. Never saw y'all at the register. I don't judge any of y'all. What I should have started this interview off is, first off, how you doing? How's health? How's everything? How's life?
Good, man, I'm good. Life's really, really beautiful. My health is great. I'm just not cleared to return to the ring right now, but I'm not in any pain. My strength is great. No headaches, no nerve issues, none of those things. But I've been great, man, and I've had all these other opportunities outside of the ring that have been fun, and just having new challenges I think has been really fulfilling. So although I haven't been in the ring, I've been really busy and fulfilled, so things have been great.
And one of those things that's been keeping you busy is obviously this transformation of the WWE and the NIL, and specifically here at the Big 12 Allegiant Stadium. We're here at Big 12 Media Day. I want to ask you, when you were in college, when you were playing, if this existed, do you think you would have shifted, or was it something like, no, I need to finish out this journey to see where it takes me when it comes to football?
Yeah, I mean, I was so singularly focused on college football, and I don't even think, like, I feel like as an athlete, you have to have almost those blinders on because it takes so much of your life, And
the confidence.
Right. At the time, we were signing these things from the NCAA that said, I only do 20 hours of football-related activities a week. And we would all laugh because it was all closer to like 40 hours. But that's just the amount of time it takes to really be dedicated to your craft. So for me, it was something that really never crossed my mind. I was into it as a kid. I loved wrestling, but it didn't cross my mind until football was off the table and I was done. And then this opportunity came along. But what I do love right now is, for me, I didn't even see a pathway to WWE. There was no obvious pathway. I was really fortunate just to know someone who knew someone who knew someone. But what I love now is we're going to these campuses all across the country, and we're able to talk to them about NIL and possibly joining us through that route, and then coming through also and trying out and doing this as a WWE superstar one day. So I love now that athletes, when their career is over, there's a pathway to WWE now, and that opening is there. So that definitely was not a thing when I was around. I would have benefited from it, but I think at the time my mind was just I wasn't even thinking about it.
I don't want to lie on my channel. I did say Dave Bautista buy food for his dog at a PetSmart. So shout out to you, Bautista, in Tampa.
Yes. That's very on brand. Dave's a big dog guy, Tampanian as well. So yes, that tracks.
So I just got back from Toronto, and so did you, for Money in the Bank, and obviously that event means very much to you and the experience. I want to ask you the feeling that you had when you grabbed the briefcase, and two, the preparation in terms of, these bumps are going to be different tonight.
Right. So I always think ladder matches are the scariest matches. They are the most high stakes matches. I mentioned it on the countdown, but I think of Joey Mercury and kind of his nose exploding, and those are things, they're real dangers in these ladder matches, and we're all trying to put on these memorable performances. Speaking of the women, man, some of the Chelsea through the tables, Io,
Zoe, Io.
Yes, yeah, doing just made me cringe so often. but in the best of ways, just because of the level of danger. But such a fun match. So it's one of those matches. I love the Money in the Bank match because it really can take someone who might be kind of middling in their career or someone who's on the rise, and you kind of skip the line. You know, you get to go right to the top, and it changed so much for me. You know, I spent so much of my career in the mid card, you know, in tag teams, and I'm so proud of what we did as a tag team with the New Day. But winning the Money in the Bank really just changed things for me. It really catapulted my singles run. Got to be a world champion because of it. But really, it's one of the things that I often talk about with Drew during the pandemic was, yeah, you held us down as champion, but to me, what really makes our business so special is the moments that fans create. And when I got to the top of that ladder and looked out and saw that love and that reaction, like I'm getting chills again thinking about it, because for me, stats are one thing, you know, length of title reigns, all those things. Those are important, but it's about the moments. It's about the moments with fans and how the fans take to you, and that's what I'm always so appreciative of. Is I think so often of that moment. It's like crystallized in my mind of being on the top of that ladder. The first thing when I got up there, I want to make sure, because I always think of Jack Swagger when he was up there, and Swagger was fumbling with that carabiner, and that was the last thing you want. You don't want to be up there fumbling with it. So I was just like, just make sure you get it cleanly. And it clipped for a little bit, but I was able to get it fairly smoothly.
It's not just an easy hook, though.
It's not.
Because everyone's like, oh, they're just faking up there. Why are they taking so long?
Right. And the thing is, like, I'm not great with heights either. So I'm also trying to make sure that's the last thing you want to, God forbid, that thing teeters on you, end up falling off and you climb back up. No, the moment is ruined. So I'm so thankful that I was able to unhook the carabiners fairly smoothly. But being up there on that ladder, filled with adrenaline and looking out, man, that is special. I always tell people, man, I wish I could bottle that moment, what it feels like, and give it to everybody, because it is special. And that's what that match means, man. So it has meant so much to my career.
Thank you for giving me chills. All right, we got two quick things before we get out of here. Money in the Bank, of course, the thing that kind of shocked everyone was John Cena's announcement. Your guys' relationship. Again, Tampa played a major part. If it's going to be difficult, but if there's one memory, one thing that you're always going to remember John for, what is it going to be?
You know, he's done so much. Selfishly, I would say my one moment is my debut. My debut in Philly at the Slammies in 2012 December was me leaving him laying, standing over him to close the show. And that moment means so much because debuting on the main roster is incredible for everyone, but debuting like that, getting to stand over arguably the greatest of all time.
At that time.
Yeah. It's just me. He's, you know, red hot. He is clearly the guy. So that meant a lot to me. But yeah, man, there's so many different things. You know, we had I remember, I think about a year later, there was a backstage segment that led to a match. I think we wrestled the Shield, but it was me, Punk, and Cena, and there's a deal where we were all with Renee was the interview at the time. We all put our hands into a little Shield deal, I think it was like a holiday feel good show. But even that moment of like, man, I'm young in my career. I can't remember if I had the IC title at the time. I might have, but just being able to stand in the ring with a guy like CM Punk, with John Cena and me, like, man, there are so many incredible moments. And I think back to so many times, you know, when I first came on the road, it was always, oh, Cena's match is about to be up. And so many of us would just be peeking out in front of the crowd because that Cena pop is different. And another thing, when I first came on the main roster, it was Cena and Dolph wrestling every single night. I remember one of my first main roster shows was we were doing MSG. They had a cage match. And to be there in New York during Cena's prime, wrestling Dolph, who was red hot as well, in the main event, to have the best seat in the house. I'm standing there and I'm getting to see greatness. I'm getting to see how he manipulates the crowd, how they're with them, how they're from little kids to old women. You know, it's he made so many special moments for our fans, for people, for talent, for us to see what it's like to be the guy, to have that kind of reaction. So salute to everything that Cena has done for our industry, and even all the Make-A-Wishes as well. Absolutely. Man, it is really inspiring. So he's done a lot. So I mean, it's, you know, a lot is an understatement, but he's done so much for our industry and our business. So salute to him.
As we close this out, I look forward to getting to talk to you again right here at Allegiant Stadium, April 19th and 20th. It might have a different setup next year for WrestleMania, but look, I don't do this often, but if there's anyone to help intro my podcast, It has to be you. So look, it's called Unlikely with Adrian Hernandez. If you could do the honors, good sir.
Okay. try not to be too loud because they're a bunch of,
They're talking radio predictions. Deion Sanders, is he going to lead Colorado? You know what? Let me stop.
Okay. It's unfortunately, I'm not going to give you the full-throated version, but
Pause. Yes, do it. Chill. Go for it.
Oh, Vegas! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for Unlikely with Adrian Hernandez and feel the power.
I was going to do a Nardwar, but last thing, check out Our Heroes Rock. It's amazing on YouTube. Big E, thank you for the time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.